Now at 10, Missouri lawmakers approve a Medicaid expansion for low-income new mothers. We'll break it down. Plus, some folks went out to Commerce, Oklahoma to burn some rubber. We'll tell you why. And the Pittsburgh State Gorillas hit the field against Central Oklahoma in the first round of the MIAA tournament.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Some Crawford County residents today gathered at the Crawford County Courthouse in Girard to hear and share their opinions about a proposed Highway 69 bypass. Thank you for choosing KOAM News at 10. I'm Jalen Banks. Kansas Department of Transportation officials were at a Crawford County Commission meeting earlier today in Girard to talk about a project that would create a new Highway 69 bypass. KDOT officials say they are again looking for public input on this project that started in 1998 and is back in public life. County residents were both for and against the idea of creating a bypass further west of Highway 69 that would go around Frontenac and Pittsburgh.
There was some more detailed study, information back when, but we had inflated that number to today's dollars, and around over 400 million is what we're planning right now, that anticipating the cost would be.
If you're going to spend $400 million plus to buy up 19 miles worth of property that's going to displace about 500 acres of farmland and homes, that's a ton of money that I don't think needs to be spent.
KDOT will be at several more meetings throughout May to discuss the project. They'll then look at the input and determine their next steps. Residents can catch them in Pittsburgh on Tuesday at the commission meeting at 5:30 in the Law Enforcement Center. Low new income mothers could gain a new full year of Medicaid health care coverage in Missouri under legislation given final approval today. The legislation would add Missouri to a growing list of Republican-led states that have previously balked at Medicaid expansions, but which are now joining Democratic states in providing 12 months of coverage instead of the typical 60 days after women give birth. The bill now heads to Governor Mike Parson's desk to be signed into law. St. Louis Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner plans to leave office in June. People that are seeking that office and a woman who previously served in the role said whoever takes over needs to rebuild trust in the office and hire the right people. There were already at least 2 candidates lining up to run against Gardner next year. John Kipper reports.
They know that even if they don't necessarily agree with me, that I'm generally, thoughtful in my approach to things. And I think right now we need to rebuild trust and rebuild that office, and I think that I'm the right person for that.
Gross is a private litigation attorney in St. Louis. He left City Hall this year. Before that, he was one of the first aldermen to call for Gardner's resignation after a vehicle hit a Tennessee teenager downtown in February. Janae Edmondson lost her legs. The man accused of hitting her was out on bond. He says now that Gardner is leaving the circuit attorney's office, people calling St. Louis home can take a breath.
It was such an elephant in the room.
One person who knows the top prosecutor job well is Jennifer Joyce. She served as circuit attorney for 16 years before Gardner.
The level of chaos that's been there most recently is pretty unprecedented.
Joyce says prosecutions right now aren't happening. A total breakdown. She told News 4 whoever takes over must surround themselves with experience and keep an open mind.
They surround themselves with experienced prosecutors and smart people, and they listen to those people, then I think that's the right person, a person who can do that.
Former mayoral candidate and current alderwoman, Kara Spencer, doesn't just want experienced staff. She wants the appointee to know the role well.
They're going to have some experience, and I want to see somebody come in there that has no agenda other than getting justice for families of victims of violence and really making that office function.
Earlier this year, Mayor Tashara Jones said Gardner lost the trust of the people. News 4 asked Gross how to win it back.
The bar's pretty low. We don't have any direction to go but up.
It sounds like the office will have help if they want it. St. Louis County Prosecuting Attorney Leslie Bell says his office is ready to assist the Circuit Attorney's office. He says that office is vital to thriving in the safer St. Louis region. Chief Meteorologist Doug Cady joins us with the first look at the weather.
Overall, it turned out to be a pretty good Friday for us today. I had sunshine during the morning hours and then a lot of low clouds during the afternoon, but we stayed dry. 76 is where we topped out, a couple notches above our average high for this time of the year. We still have some low clouds out there, but these are going to slowly break up as we go through the overnight hours. Severe weather across Nebraska down through Texas. We are fine for the overnight hours tonight. Check out our temps. 63 in Stockton, 69 in Grove, 70 at Parsons. We're actually right about at our overnight low. Southerly winds are going to increase slowly as we go through the overnight hours. These will keep our temperatures up. In fact, they're going to allow our temperatures to rise through the night. 64 here shortly, but 68 when you get up in the morning, and then a quick warm up near record highs for us tomorrow. Thunderstorm chances each and every day. Some of those could be strong to severe. We're going to talk about that here in just a bit.
It's time to burn some rubber in Northeast Oklahoma. The City of Commerce, Oklahoma today hosted its first Friday cruise night of the year. It's a chance for car enthusiasts and the general public to hang out and check out some sweet rides. The event featured live music, food, and a burnout contest with a $500 prize.
I really just like having a good time and cars and people burning out. It really has a community in it. Like literally we have a crowd around watching just for people burning out. So even if it burns a little rubber, I'm okay with it.
Commerce will be hosting cruise nights and burnout contests on the first Friday of every month through September. Baxter Springs is having some fun this weekend, hosting Cowtown Days. The festivities kicked off tonight with some live music and food. The main events start tomorrow. The day will kick off with a parade at 9 a.m. Then there will be a craft show, a car show, helicopter rides, a cornhole tournament, and a kids carnival, among other activities. Coming up, preparations ahead of Britain's King Charles coronation. Plus, pressure mounts against the Supreme Court justice for ethics violations. London is in a festive mood ahead of tomorrow's coronation of Britain's King Charles. The First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, is in London for the service, and Prince Harry will also attend, though his wife Meghan decided not to come. Reporter Tina Kraus has the latest from London.
Hip, hip, hooray! King Charles stopped to delight fans near Buckingham Palace the day before his historic coronation.
It's almost like he has like a golden aurora around him. Honestly, that's what it looks like.
Prince William, who is heir to the throne, and Princess Kate also greeted well-wishers as Britain prepares for a weekend of pomp and celebration.
God save our gracious King.
Crowds in London and viewers around the world will witness the first British coronation since 1953, when Queen Elizabeth II ascended to the throne.
I think the royal family are a symbol of unity for us as a country.
A royal procession will stretch for nearly a mile and a half through the streets here in central London, giving these crowds, some who camped out for days, the opportunity to see their newly crowned king.
People from every country. We've spoken to so many people from all over the world. Just amazing.
Flowers are already in place at the Abbey for a ceremony filled with medieval traditions, including a centuries-old coronation chair.
The pageantry is just unique to this country.
This is what it's all about. This is what being British is about. This is what we do.
King Charles will be anointed with oil and will receive the orb and scepter, the traditional symbols of the monarch, and his wife Camilla will be crowned as queen. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
CBS News coverage of the coronation will begin tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. Pressure is growing on Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas over a new report in ProPublica. It reveals the same conservative activist who paid for vacations and bought his mother's home also paid his grandnephew's private school tuition. The report says Thomas failed to disclose the tuition payments for his grandnephew, who he was helping raise. His defenders say the rules don't quite require it. A little later, some Special Olympics athletes put on some jerseys and became football players for the day. We'll visit Special Olympics Victory Day.
Plus, we're going to push record highs as we go into the weekend. We're going to check that out coming up. Well, it turned out to be a great Friday for us today. Sunny skies during the morning, a lot of clouds this afternoon into the evening, but temperatures great. Mid-70s for highs, right about where we should be for the beginning of May. Look at the parking lot, full. It's Friday night, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. All right, thankfully we got some rain yesterday. In fact, we got more rain yesterday than about 5 times the amount of April, which is actually crazy, 1.32 inches, but we're still almost 4 inches behind where we should be for this time of the year. All right, 64 Fort Scott, 70 in Miami, 64 in Chanute, Carthage at 62. We're pretty much at our overnight low. We're actually going to rise a bit as we head toward dawn. Sitting at 64, dew point at 59, we have that east-southeasterly wind at about 10 miles per hour. And these are going to actually increase as we go through the overnight hours. So that's going to help our temperatures rise a bit as we go through the overnight hours, but also the winds are going to pick up as we go into the weekend. Maybe not a great idea to burn, or at least controlled, because winds are going to be gusting 30 to about 35 tomorrow, also into Sunday. And of course, just about most of us are in a drought. And you can see winds gusting again 30 to 35 as we go into Sunday. Overnight planner 64 shortly, pretty much our low, back to 78 by 10 a.m. Quick warm up. It's going to be a warm day for us tomorrow. We have some low hanging clouds out there, but in general, we look pretty good. We got severe thunderstorms in Nebraska. We got severe thunderstorms parts of Texas, and this big upper level low out west. This is going to spit chunks of energy at us just about each and every day. And what that means for us is at least chances for showers and thunderstorms. Chances for showers and thunderstorms in the month of May means chances for severe weather, of course, and that's what we're looking at. Let's go ahead and step through your weekend. Upper 60s to start. Look at this by noon, lower 80s. During the afternoon, 86 Monette, 88 Miami, 90 in Chanute, 91 in Fredonia. Record high tomorrow's 90, so we will make a run at it. Tomorrow night, thunderstorms down through Oklahoma. Some of these are going to try to get in. This is going to be late tomorrow night, after midnight, into Sunday morning. But some of these guys could pack a punch, so we got to watch that as we get into Sunday morning. Then we clear out. Looks pretty good. Upper 80s again by Sunday afternoon. But then we do it again as we get into Sunday night. Chances for showers and thunderstorms. Day planner for you, 68 to start, 83 by noon, 88 by 4. High temp, 89 degrees. All right, Sunday night, scattered thunderstorms try to get in. Some of those could pack a punch. Monday, scattered thunderstorms. Tuesday, though, a front draped right on top of us. That could give us a chance for severe weather. Chance for severe weather on Wednesday, chance for severe weather on Thursday. So a ton to watch as we get into next week. 89 tomorrow, 87 on Sunday. Those rain chances increasing as we go through next week. Also that severe weather shot, but we stay in the 80s for the next week and then cool down a little bit as we head into next weekend. Hopefully
All that comes true besides the potential record-breaking temps that we could face tomorrow.
Okay, there we go.
All right. As long as we can agree on that. Thank you, Doug. Some Special Olympic athletes got to learn what it's like to be a collegiate football player for the day. Pitt State hosted its third annual Special Olympics Victory Day. Athletes from across Kansas spent the day with the Pitt State Gorilla football team and learned some pretty cool moves. KOAM photojournalist Ty Parks visited the event.
Athletes look up to these Pitt State players. You know, this is a big deal in Pittsburgh, and for them to have a day just to hang out with the football players, it's so awesome to see the connections that are created here at this event. 18 and under, and we do a lot of the elementary schools, some high school students, but all over Southeast Kansas we have our athletes here participating in this.
Really just grateful for everything they have. You know, these kids weren't able to have athletic experience. You know, we're just able to give that to them today, and it's really great. So really just being grateful for all we have and everything we get out of this community.
The athletes learned touchdown dances, how to tackle and hurdle, and some plays. Still ahead, the Pitt State Gorillas hit the field against Central Oklahoma in the first round of the MIAA tournament. And Frontenac and Columbus softball battle for the CNC League Championship. Jacob Leonard has those highlights and more next.
Well, tonight is the opening night of the playoffs for both Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern baseball. Both teams have earned home games to begin the MIAA conference tournament. Missouri Southern opens a three-game first-round series tonight, hosting the Newman Jets. And the Lions swept 3 games from Newman when they met in the regular season. Second inning, Cole Woods with a strikeout to end the inning. Woods goes 8 shutout innings, allows just 4 hits. They got some help from the guys behind him too. Nate Miskowski starts the double play here. Henry Kuziak turns it. And then in the 5th, Will Doherty at 3rd. Slings it over to Miskowski. He turns this one for 2. This game's scoreless until the 6th. In the 6th, MIAA Freshman of the Year Ethan Clark delivers base hit into center. Brings Tragan Parker in from 2nd. Southern gets the first run of the day. Later in the 6th, Garrett Rice lines it to left. That allows Clark to score. It's Southern 2-0 going to the 7th. Then in that 7th inning, Clark back to work. The freshman with another RBI single. 3 more for the Lions in the inning. Puts this game away. Missouri Southern tops Newman in their tournament opener tonight, 5-1. As for the Gorillas, they open a 3-game first-round series tonight at home against Central Oklahoma. They'll start the game off bottom of the 2nd inning. Carson Coffey up, lifts this one to left. Solo homer for Coffey. Gorillas strike first. It's 1-0. Later, we're still in the same inning. Lead now 3-0 Pitt State. Joe Hamilton sends this one into the gap. This is a 2-run double. Gorillas take a 5-0 lead. 5-run inning for Pitt State in the 2nd. Now, bottom of the 5th. Now we're tied. It's 5-5. Nothing wrong with 2 rounds of coffee here. Carson Coffey homers again to left. No doubter there. Gorillas go back up 6-5. Zach Shoemaker, MIAA Pitcher of the Year. He's on the mound tonight for Pitt State. Check out this play by Shoemaker. Makes the barehanded play on the comebacker in the top of the 4th. Gorillas go on to take game 1 of the series tonight, beating Central Oklahoma 12-7. The Columbus Titans host the Frontenac Raiders tonight in both baseball and softball. And this matchup tonight determines CNC League champions on both sides. Starting with softball, both teams enter the day with 9-1 records in the league. So if either team sweeps the doubleheader today, they win the league. If they split, they are co-league champions. Now, Frontenac won Game 1 earlier tonight, 7-3. So here we go with Game 2. Frontenac wins, their league champs. Columbus wins this one. They share the title. Raiders down 1 until Annie Lee drills one into the left field corner. Maddie Lajadas scores. Lee in there for the double makes it 2-2. Then Hattie Pyle, I thought she was hitting a car with this one. 3-run jack for Pyle in the 3rd. That puts Frontenac up 5-2. But the Titans not out of it yet in the 4th. Aubrey Saporito, base hit to right. Addie Saporito scores. Katie Simpson right behind her. We got a 5-5 game with that. Then bottom 7, still tied. Aubrey Saporito lays down the bunt. Throw to first gets away. Simpson scores. And that is it. Columbus walks it off to take Game 2 over Frontenac 6-5. The Raiders and Titans share the CNC League title. On the baseball side, pretty simple here. Frontenac needs 1 win for the league title. Columbus needs to sweep. Here we go. Game 1. Brennan Frazier up the middle for Frontenac. Mario Mangini scores. Raiders score the first 3 runs of the game. Then here comes Columbus in the 4th. Jaspin Tanner pulls one through the left side to score Seth Stover. It's now 3-1. Later, same inning, Caden Cox lines it to left. That brings Cade Saporito home. Landon Midget right behind him with the super smooth slide. 5 runs for Columbus in the 4th, puts them up 5-3. Game stayed tight. The Titans take Game 1 6-5. So it comes down to Game 2. The winner of this one is the CNC League champion, and it is Columbus getting it done 11-4. Here's the final out from the game. Seth Stover over there finishes it off with a nice play and throw to first. So the Titans are outright CNC champions. They go 11-1 in the league this spring, while Frontenac finishes in 2nd at 10-2. A bunch of good games tonight. I love playoff, baseball and softball. When every pitch, every game means something.
I mean, you saw my face as you were reading.
Yeah, I thought something happened outside of TV, but you were just watching the highlights. Yeah,
I was watching the highlights, and then the fact that Frontenac ended up splitting.
Yeah, those are 2 very good teams, and the fun part is they're all in the same region, so we're going to probably see these 2 teams meet again here in just
And I'm sure you will be there to cover all the action. All right, sounds good. We're back with more news after this. A massive mound of pasta discovered in the woods has residents perplexed in New Jersey. Jeremy Roth has this bizarre story in. Take a look at this.
Pasta in the woods. It sounds like a children's book, doesn't it? If a tree falls, but there are no meatballs. But this was no fairy tale. It was a real-life weird thing that happened in Old Bridge, New Jersey, when hundreds of pounds of pasta were found discarded near a creek bed. It may seem silly or Fusilli in this case. But resident Nina Joknowitz, who posted the pasta pics, says it's no laughing matter.
The township has no bulk garbage pickup.
Joknowitz and others say the township voted down that service, so large trash items are getting dumped illegally in places like this.
Apparently it's easier for people to go dump stuff in the woods than get rid of it properly. It's very frustrating.
As for the pasta predicament, it's been cleaned up, but it seems a larger issue has been al dente-fied. Or so it seems, right kids? Fine, be that way. Speaking of stuff where it shouldn't be, a big snake was found living inside a breaker box in Virginia after a traffic signal mysteriously shut off. Authorities say the snake was so large it inadvertently flipped a switch, bringing traffic to a halt. With the power clicked off, drivers were likely ticked off, but the snake was soon removed and the signal was back in biz. Finally, a Mona Lisa mystery solved? Yes, says one art historian who claims he's identified the location in the background of the famous Da Vinci painting. Using virtual reconstruction and historical documents, the historian says the bridge in the painting is the Romito Bridge in the Tuscan town of Laterina. Even with this bold new claim, the debate, which has spanned centuries, is likely to continue. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
More riveting news from our Jeremy Roth. All right.
Yeah, it's hard news.
All right. What do you have for us, Doug?
Near record highs as we go into the weekend. 89 tomorrow, 87 on Sunday. A few overnight storms and then thunderstorm chances increase each and every day next week. Also a severe threat.
Leonard, we've got a lot of action going on in the 4 states. What do you have first?
We do. Kara Amos came through from Missouri Southern softball tonight. Walk-off home run for the Lions. They beat Washburn 3-2 in the MIAA tournament. They're back on the field tomorrow against Missouri Western.
Survive. What's the saying?
Survive and advance. That's all this time of the year is about, man.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you all for watching. It's been an awesome week. We'll do this all again next week. Have a safe weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.